Hey everyone, welcome back to Joy at Work. So glad to be with you today, and I'm so thankful to you for taking your time to watch and reflect on this video, whether it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed the content, but most importantly, think about somebody you know wants to experience more joy at work. Share this channel with them, encourage them to watch your video, give me feedback. Really appreciate it. AFCON final, just a few hours away. That's why I'm still wearing this jersey. Go Super Eagles, go. Looking forward to celebrating on Sunday when they defeat the Elephants of Ivory Coast. That's what I'm hoping for. Go, boys, go. And we're at the end of our series on Aristotelian virtues. I'll do one more video next week to wrap it up. But today we're talking about the last virtue. It's a social virtue. It's one of the more interesting virtues, if you ask me. It's wittiness. And it has to do with conversation and it has to do with humor, but it also has to do with, in my viewpoint, and it has to do with expressing our thoughts about a situation. And so, like every other virtue, it's the mean that sits in between a deficiency and an excess. And when you are go in excess, your humor becomes offensive. It's like funerary, I think, is how Aristotle, the translation of the Greek word into English means that. But when we don't engage in social conversation, when we don't engage in humor, the right humor, we become boorish. We're ultimately boring and dull and uninteresting. We're only finding fault with what's going on and not having something to say. So, wittiness is very interesting because it's a conversational virtue. It really has to do with how we interact with other people and our ability to bring humor into our interactions while at the same time pointing out things that need to be pointed out. Fascinating. And Aristotle's sort of making the point here that the person who mastered this or the person who is virtuous knows sort of how to tell jokes to get the point across without going too far. They know how to make their points in funny and humorous ways. So the message is there, but you find yourself laughing as a result of it. Do you work with somebody or do you know someone who's really good at using humor to get their points across? In fact, you think about it, comedy is very much this, if you want to really reflect on what the best comedians do. The best comedians address social issues through humor. And you're not being asked to be a comic in the workplace, if you will, but Aristotle is saying that, having the ability to sort of make your points in a funny, maybe even a bit self-deprecating way is something that is very important. And being able to do that and help others understand the point you're trying to make is important. Now, one of the interesting things for me about this virtue is when you think about joy at work and having fun and laughing, how often do you laugh in the workplace? How often do you make jokes and interact with people and bring about humor in the workplace? Aristotle is saying that to be a virtuous person is to be somebody that causes humor, laughter, somebody who contributes to joy at work. So that's sort of the challenge as we kind of wrap up our series on virtues. Are you witty? Do you bring humor to the workplace? Do you have a way of expressing your points in a funny way that causes people to laugh but still gets the point across? Or are you mean? Are your jokes offensive? Or do you just not engage? I don't know where you find yourself, but Aristotle's point is living the virtuous life includes being witty. And I also believe that humor is a core part of experiencing joy at work. So here's to more humor, and here's to you becoming wittier in the workplace. And hopefully, through this, you and others will experience joy at work. All right, thanks for joining me again this week. Appreciate you all. Don't forget to like this video, share it with somebody else. I'll see you next week. Bye.